Yo, how we doing out there? Y'all chime in. Let's have a bid. Chime in. It's gonna be a good one and one for the books. All right. We're gonna address the elephant in the room. So y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, brother_D21. All right. DEE is how I spell brother_D21. Find me on Facebook, it's Brother D. Alright, this is a good one. So, in the heading, are black people United States citizens? And should we claim to be? Alright, we addressing it. Are black people United States citizens? And should we claim to be? So, I want to state a few things. We have came a long way. I want to acknowledge that. Alright, and let's not go overboard, misconceive what I'm saying. We have greatly impacted America and this civilization, all right? We have actually built America, all right, present day. It's done on our backs and the labor of us hardworking individuals. So we done came a long way. When I say a long way, I'll say from slavery, all right? Quiet as kept. In short, that's where we came a long way from, all right? So we done came a long way from Jim Crow laws. We done came a long way from segregation. We done came a long way from civil rights movements, okay? Pan-Africanism, the birth of different movements, Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, Moorish Temple, okay? The Moorish Science Temple. We have a lot of things that done transpired. We done occupied presidency. Shout out to Obama. We done been pilots, black actresses, black everything, right? We done got in the film, a lot of civil rights, a lot of things. Wasn't able to vote at one point, all right? All these things. So everything is for the good. I'm under the belief that everything changes. One thing that's consistent, is universal, and it changed for the good despite all appearances, all right? Despite how things may look, things are always for the good. That's my disposition, all right? So, we done came a long way. I want to bring up a case called Dred Scott case, all right? And this was a time where Black Americans were just being freed, and the northern states and the southern states was feuding over this happening, right? You had this Dred Scott case. It was an African American who was a slave who was living in a free state, right? Like borderline. He was living in that state for some time and petitioned for the state that he be considered a free man, etc. Well, they had made a judgment, and the judgment was not in his favor. This ended up going all the way up to the Supreme Court. And they ruled, along with the ruling, not being in his favor, that no black African American could be considered a United States citizen. All right? This have yet to be overturned. Nonetheless, I say we have progressed a long way. The Emancipation Proclamation by Abraham Lincoln, freeing the slaves, the Constitution taking place, the Bill of Rights being added to the Constitution to perfect it even more. You had these things going on. So, what is a citizen? A citizen, by definition, is one who is born or naturalized, all right, and therefore is a subject to that state, okay? So a citizen was either born or naturalized, and therefore citizenship is bestowed upon them. Now, what is nationality? They're used interchangeably in some instances. We need to know the difference, okay? You can be a national and not be a citizen. A citizen, the slight difference usually being able to participate in political affairs like voting and things like that and having such allegiance, right? Nationality comes with, well, nationality by definition is one who belongs to a sovereign state, all right? Comes with a flag, comes with a country. When you're talking about nationals, you had a concept of international law and the laws amongst nations. All right. So you have people that's of one nationality crossing over being tourists in another country and vice versa. All right. And they're known to be nationals of their country. So, you know, the words citizenship, nationality, ethnicity, all those things is kind of closely knitted and grouped. But ethnicity, for example, is a group of people with the same identity based on cultural, language, or religious affinities, okay? So they pretty much got family lineage, being of the same ethnicity, they practicing the same culture, same ideology and language and things like that. All right, when you're talking about a certain ethnic group. So I posed the question, are black people citizens of the United States and should we claim to be? Now, with all the nation is simply meaning we're all under one umbrella. If we all burn the country, and a nation is simply a tribe. It's a lot familiar, right? Should we claim to be in the sense of all of us is not being one or togetherness, the lack of togetherness, from the sense or the disposition of the social injustices that we endure and go through, the inequality that we endure and go through, the mass shootings and police is gunning us down. Should we claim to be, all right? Now I'll say this. We fight for certain human rights that should be a given. It's a concept called God-given rights. Inalienable rights and alienable rights. That which is bestowed upon you by a man and that which is God-given. That's natural. That is in alignment with constitutional law. Constitution is a common law instrument, all right? Common sense. So we have natural rights. You had a universal Declaration of Human Rights. Every states that everybody have a right to nationality and a right to change their nationality. Okay? Based on the times of how they see fit, right? Their cultural affinity and what they have going on presently. So you got natural human rights that's preserved and protected by international law and one conglomerate, United Nations. Everybody's on one conglomerate, all right? Now, that is what the human family is doing. We have been casted in a low status quo, all right? We have no legal political standing, right? Everybody know what status means. Status means position, rank, or standing, okay? Do you have any status? What's your status? What's your position? What's your rank? What's your standing? So, in short, we've been thrusted into a low status quo. The battle for liberation still carry on, all right? We've overcome Jim Crow laws. We've overcome the segregation. We've overcome, they had what's called black codes, all right? And that was their means of policing the black community early on, after we was left from physical bondage. So, black codes, which fall under the color board law. All right, what is the color board law? You look this up. Color board law. What is colorable law? What does it mean to be colorable? All right. Colorable law is any law that's presented as law and it's not law. okay? So anything colorable is fake, fictitious, and has no standing. It's operating outside of law. It's in violation of human rights, infringing on the natural rights of a person or a people, okay? So the status quo of us and doing such injustices, such imbalances of inequality, right? I pose the question to you and leave it for you to answer it and decide for oneself. Are black people United States citizens, and should we claim to be? Now, I'm going to talk about the United States in the fundamental basis of it's being founded on the Constitution, okay? The Constitution opening lines is we the people. So it's letting you know it's we the people in order to perform a perfected union, establish this Constitution is what's being stated. And persevere the welfare, preserve the welfare, the prosperity, liberty, freedom of all people, right? So this is the fundamental basis of the Constitution. And it preserves your natural God-given right. It's a common law instrument, right? Check out the movie Lean on Me. Morgan Freeman, early on in the beginning of the movie, he was teaching and states how United States civil law descended from England common law, okay? So the common law instrument being the Constitution preserves and protects our fundamental rights. So we got to get involved with that. I'm going to have another video going through the United States Constitution, invoking our natural rights. All public officials bound by oath or under oath, they take an oath and pledge to uphold the United States Constitution, right? So it's a common sense, it's a such thing as operating outside of law and government fold or what the human family is doing world over. It's always been caste systems, which is a class system, all right, where they caste certain classes, all right, certain statuses, all right, and it might come with certain rights and privileges. Understand what I'm saying here? So this is just not in America, it's in other countries abroad too. So after the United States of America established the United States Constitution, after transitioning from the Confederate Constitution, the rest of the world countries and governments fashioned a constitution after the United States, all right? So you had the UN, UK, all this international law, government established to keep and ward off world peace, social injustices, and protect humanitarian values, etc. All right, to bring it full circle. So I pose that question to y'all, and I want to add this last icing on the cake. And the icing on the cake is this. The United States Constitution, Amendment 13 and 14 state no one can be denied the protection of the law, whether a citizen or a foreigner. Okay? It states that the contracts is the law of the land. It states in 9 and 10, Amendment 9 and 10, any powers that us as we the people do not delegate to the authority of the state or the federal government resides with the people still. So anything we don't tell them to do as the people, it resides with us still, okay? So within the nation, you can have a nation within a nation, so to speak. I stated what I just stated about the Constitution to let you know, as a people, we have right to have dealings amongst each other. I can do a partnership with this person. I can do a partnership with several people. We can come amongst each other as a conglomerate and do what it is we need to do, right? And you can build a nation within a nation, so to speak. So the word nationality is really just mean tribe. The word tribe is a nation. It's a people that's under a certain umbrella of oneness, unity, brotherly love, right? Looking out for each other. So with the social injustices, the inequality and things that we steady fight to and for up until present day, I pose the question. Y'all look at their head and you really ask yourself that. The concept of nation building has been done. People have started these communities like Black Panthers, Nation of Islam, the 5%ers, etc., right? The Moor Science Temples. We are able to grow communities and nations to the scale to which you will have sovereign recognition and be brought into the hierarchy, so to speak, of international government. These things is being done. People is doing it, have done it. Life is tribal, so all the things that we battle with, getting our 40 acres in a mule, just the same old rhetoric. We as a people need to use our intellect, use our resources, know our rights, and know how to get things movement, use resources, be resourceful, distribute it, and gain resources, right? And preserve resources as a collective, as a body of people. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm going to be back kicking some knowledge. Y'all stay up on par, up to date on the jurisprudence, the legal knowledge. And check out the movie Higher Learning, all right? It's a college movie. Got Ice Cube in there. Some good knowledge in there. You know, so remember, it's a difference between what's legal and lawful. Everything that's legal is not lawful, all right? Peace out.